Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club Calcutta Races Winter Meeting 4-day Wednesday 18 January 2023 race preview. The opening event of the afternoon is the Aero Native Handicap for horses weighted 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. First up, we are looking at 4 runners. Number 1, Legend Returns. This one we are looking at is from race number 47 where it finished on 8th. We also had number 2, Our Choice, who eventually finished on 6th. This was over 1400 meters, and Toronero, who has had 3 starts so far this run, it finished on 9th. And number 7 is Daddy's Dream, who eventually finished on 11th. The winner here was Sun God. Number 5 is Divine Chakra, who has had a couple of starts. First up, it finished on 7th in race number 1 behind Compliance over 1200 meters. Next up in the run we are looking at is in race number 38 over 1200 meters, where Divine Chakra eventually finished on 5th, today ridden by Imran Chisti. Number 6 is Script. This one we are looking at is from race number 59, which was over 1100 meters, where Script eventually finished on 8th. The winner here was Yaz, who won that race on a start to finish mission by a widening margin of 5 lengths. Moving on to the second race of the afternoon, the H.H. Sukiya's Memorial Cup for maiden horses 3-year-old only, to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. We got 3 runners who had a start. This was in race number 43 over 1200 meters. La Dominate, who eventually finished on 2nd. Number 4 was Akanta, who finished on 3rd. And number 7, which is Queen's Wish, who finished on 7th. The winner here was Dedicate, who won that race by about 5 lengths. Number 3 is Solar. This one we are looking at is from race number 31, where it went over 1100 meters, and Solar eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Gale, who won that race by almost 3.5 lengths. We move on to the third race of the afternoon, the San Francisco Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. First up, we got number 1, Temu's Choice, who's had 4 starts so far, and its last start in race number 51, where it went over 1200 meters. Temu's Choice eventually finished on 5th, as you can see in the middle of the screen, today ridden by Arman Khan. We had 3 runners which went up against each other. Number 2, Dr. Doom, who eventually came out and finished on 2nd. This one we are looking at is from race number 44, where they went over 1200 meters. Number 4, another runner, Mose, which finished on 9th. Number 6 is Memorable Memories, who had a couple of starts. First up, it finished on 4th in race number 34. In this start, it finished on 10th. The winner here was Mescal, who rode the rail to victory. 3 runners again went up against each other in race number 55, UV, who was an eye-catcher in its previous start, in race number 34, where it finished on 3rd. Here, UV could only manage on 8th. Number 8 is another runner we have. Number 8 is Nandini's Pet, who was a winner in earlier part of the season in race number 19. Here, Nandini's Pet went on a start-to-finish mission and eventually finished on 4th. Number 8 is Shivalik Silk, who had his eye-catching start in race number 47, where it finished on 2nd. Here, Shivalik Silk could only finish on 9th. Number 5 is Island Lass. Island Lass had a couple of starts in the monsoon season where it finished on second in one of his starts. And the first start it had in this season in race number 6, where Island Lass went over 1100 meters and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Dream Chaser, who got that race by almost length and 3/4. Number 10 is Light in the Sky. This one we are looking at is from race number 59, where Light in the Sky went over 1100 meters and eventually finished on 10th. Did not really bother anybody. So far, Light in the Sky has had a very mediocre season, has not placed in any of his starts. Today ridden by P. Soria, which is definitely a positive jockey switch. Moving on to the 4th race of the afternoon, the Saw Imperial Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46 eligible. This is a no whip race over 1400 meters. Couple of runners we're looking at first. Number 2 is the Flying Eagle. Couple of starts for the Flying Eagle. First up, it finished on 5th in race number 32 behind Cape Tannerus. In his last start, the one we are looking at is in race number 48. It finished on 7th. The other runner we have is number 6 is Divine Hunt. Divine Hunt in the start went on a start to finish mission but was caught close home by a head by Mandolin. Couple of runners again we are looking at is race number 53. 4 is Dubai Gold. Dubai Gold, who eventually came out and finished on 4th. This start was over 1600 meters. The other runner we had was Dubai Dunes. Dubai Dunes was racing in the wrong end of the field and eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Arabian Queen, who made it a start to finish affair and won that race readily. Number 5 is D My Heart, has had 4 starts so far. Its best start was his last start in race number 45, where it went over 1600 meters and eventually finished on 5th. The winner here was Summer Night, who won that race by 2.5 lengths. Number 8 is Agostini Karachi. Agostini Karachi, this was his first start on the Calcutta track in race number 51, where it was installed the favourite over 1200 meters. It was a little lethargic in the beginning, but then weaved a passage towards the inside, was coming up with a big run, but the run petered out and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Regency Smile, who has gone on to win further races. Number 9 is Ember Glow. The start we're looking at is from race number 30, where it finished on 7th. It had an eye-catching start in race number 18 earlier part of the season, where it finished on 4th to Properly Posh. In this start, it went over 1200 meters in race number 30 and eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Rising Star, who won that race very impressively. Number 10 is Magnite, has had 4 starts so far in this season, has not really placed in any of them. In its last start, the one we are looking at is in race number 46, where it went over 1400 meters and finished on 7th. Was ridden by Prithvi Singh that day, today ridden by P. Soria. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the Perrin Dalal Alokananda Stakes for fillies 3-year-old only, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 3 is Kind of Magic. Says a lot of One Vision. This one we are looking at is from race number 50, where Kind of Magic was leading the pack as they entered the last 200 meters, then was caught up by Merope, and Kind of Magic eventually finished on 3rd. Number 4 is Sandrin. Sandrin, who was racing in 2nd spot, eventually came under pressure and finished on 3rd. The winner here was Gale, who won that race by almost 3.5 lengths. We move on to the sixth race of the afternoon, the feature event of the day, the Calcutta Champion Sprint Trophy Grade 3 to be run over a distance of 1200 meters for horses 4-year-old and over. First up, we got three runners which went up against each other. In race number 41, we had Agnostic, who was racing in mid-pack, burst out of the pack and won that race. Number 2 was Awesome One. Awesome One was racing towards the inside and eventually battled on for second spot. Number 5 was Dandi Satyagraha. Dandi Satyagraha was brought late into the scene and eventually came out and finished on an eye-catching third. Today ridden by Suraj Naredu. Three runners went up against each other again. Number 3 is Cape Tanaros. This run was in race number 57 where Cape Tanaros was ridden by P. Trevor. And Cape Tanaros came out on a start-to-finish mission and won that race. Number 4 was Full Volume, who was racing in the wrong end of the field and eventually finished on 8th. Number 6 was Soaring High, who was in a prominent position until the last 200 meters where it almost ran out of gas and eventually finished on 6th. Today ridden by Shahzad Khan. Moving on to the seventh and last event of the day, the Fire Flash Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. The first runner we're looking at is Dubai Star. Dubai Star has had 4 starts so far. Its best start was its last start in race number 46 where it went over 1400 meters and eventually came out and finished on 3rd. On the wide outside, almost out of your screen, is Dubai Star. That day was ridden by A. Sandesh, today ridden by Muhammad Islam. Number 2 is Star, who's been knocking on the boards. First up, it finished on 4th in race number 3 behind Harvest Time. In his next start in race number 13, it finished on 2nd behind Arrow Point. In his last start, Star ran a tad disappointing race where it went over 1600 meters and eventually finished on 8th. The winner here was Gold Pursuit, who won that race by a couple of lengths. Number 3 is Whispering Grass, the mount of Nikhil Naidu. Couple of placed efforts for Whispering Grass in this season. First up, it finished on 3rd behind Southern Lad in race number 8 over 1100 meters. In his last start, Whispering Grass was chasing the leader home and eventually fell short and finished on 2nd. The winner here was Veronica. Number 4 is Lightning Charlie. Lightning Charlie was racing in the wrong end of the field and eventually finished on 10th. The winner here was Mount Reno, who was ridden towards the inside and got the passage and won that race by almost 2 1/4 lengths. We move on to number 6, Regency Gold, who had a decent monsoon season where it finished on 2nd couple of times. In its first start in this season, in race number 8, where it went over 1100 meters, Regency Gold eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Southern Lad. Today ridden by Neeraj Rawal is Regency Gold. Couple of runners. Number 7 is Tycoonist. Tycoonist in race number 44, where it went over 1200 meters, eventually finished on 4th after being in a prominent position for most of the race. Number 8 was Jawai, who was brought very late into the scene, was absolutely finishing flying towards the outside and came out and finished on 3rd. The winner here was Mescal, who won a very impressive race, beating the field by a length and a quarter. Last runner for the day is number 9 Ticker, David Livingston out of Rutba. The start it had in race number 27 was not really very impressive, over 1600 meters, eventually finished on 8th. The winner here was Magneto, who won that race by a couple of lengths. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you at the races on or our YouTube coverage at Royal Calcutta Turf Club.